Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Like Queen Lisa, and today is Friday. So you guys know what that means. You better grab something red, grab something cold to drink because it's happy hour. We remember everyone deployed. That's why we do the red thing on Fridays. And we want to say thank you to our servicemen and women for all that they're doing for us and their families when they're away from them as well. It is the last happy hour of 2023. And good riddance, 2023. Get the hell out of here. We're done with you. Enough. So, see you guys with Westwood on the other side of this. Give us a like, share the video, grab a drink. Be right back. Happy almost into 2023, Westwood. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, wait.
Cheers.
Let's do this right.
Oh, nice cup.
Cheers. Yes.
Cheers.
It's always 5 o'clock here. It's going to be 5 o'clock for the entire 2024 year. I can feel it.
Oh, man.
Stuck on 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. I'm so ready.
Uh-huh.
I want to do a quick shout out to the Staple crew and say thank you for supporting my little small business, the Mighty Merchants. He shared a video today on Twitter and gave a shout out to my business and told everybody to go follow it and check out the videos and my store. So I appreciated that. That was really sweet.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Good stuff. And I appreciate everybody watching in the chat today. It is great to see everybody. I missed the live hash it out. We're having some teenager family drama. And so I didn't get to watch till late at night. And it was weird because since I wasn't live in the chat, so I went and made a comment. I liked and commented on the video. And then it said, no comments available. And I could read a comment above mine and then I could see my comment, but it said no comments.
No comments for you.
Maybe. I don't know. It was weird. So I sent a screenshot to you and Dave to let you guys know. And then Dave said he was going to be like editing it or something, changing something and then reposting. So I don't know.
He's the master mixer, man. He goes back and listens to everything and he does stuff. And it's just like he's always got ideas. And I'm like, how? I
don't know how
I can't even make a video for a week on my own channel.
Yeah. Jeez. You've been busy. You've had family home and you know, it's the holidays. So everybody gives everybody some grace around the holidays, you know?
Nothing. I got nothing.
You got nothing.
I'm just 2024 is going to be a rehash of all my 2023 videos. I'm just going to switch it up a little bit, maybe a little scenery change, but it'll be basically the same thing. So if you just want to go back and watch everything from 2023, you know what's going to happen in 2024 from Westwood.
Yeah, more dog videos.
Yeah, dogs, cigars, some whiskey, some gin and tonics.
Dogs, ranting.
A little bit of Like Queen Lisa sprinkled in there.
I don't know. I think you'll have a lot. I'm hoping you're going to have a lot different things to talk about. I mean, from listening to Uncle Cliff and Jim.
I didn't hear it this week, but I mean, I saw the headline and I'm like, crack up boom coming. And I'm like, oh, I got to listen to this, but I didn't have time to do it.
Well, it's like today or tomorrow or last night, I don't know, it was supposed to be this full moon and Cliff had been talking about some interesting stuff coming out around this time. There has been a lot of information out. I mean, yesterday I kind of went down a list about all this stuff with what's happening with the Indian nations, and went down a whole thing about the diamonds. And then today there's more comms with that. There was a football team. I don't know if you want me to go through the whole diamond thing if you didn't watch that.
Football team.
There was a football team that made their mascot a Pop-Tart.
Oh, and they ate it.
And they they toasted it, they cooked it first, and ate it on the field in front of everyone.
Wasn't the guy
Spirit
walking around in it?
spirit cooking, anyone?
I mean, he was out there on the field dressed up in it, right? This epic costume, right?
Sacrifice. Yeah,
I
and
saw that clip and I'm like, what the?
they're putting it in your face,
Yeah. And
and
what about COVID? I mean, what about germs and disease and viruses and all? I mean, seriously?
maybe because they cooked them first.
Oh, it's okay.
They are also doing a one of those, like, crime documentary things where, like, this woman killed her child, and she was trying to get rid of the body, and she cooked the parts or whatever. They're
Really?
trying to leak that out there about
Make it
this.
okay. It's because it's okay.
Well,
It's
so
normal.
when I went down this rabbit hole with all that yesterday on the show with, Johnny, and, the Indian nations had um, thousands of remains returned to them, and it didn't say bones, it said remains. And then one of the
Hmm.
things Trump always said was, "We're getting the diamonds back," and there's this whole thing about turning, and you had mentioned turning, you would be a big old diamond if you passed away, and turning,
Big old carbon
cremating you.
compress. Yeah, we
Yeah.
need a bigger necklace
Yes.
or ring.
And then they said that there's rumors that they found machines or crematory things on Epstein Island, and then that was how they were getting rid of the children, on Epstein Island after they abused them. And now the list just came out, at least about the plane. We don't know confirmed about the rest. But yesterday, the U.S. debt clock, the thing came out and it said "Gone with the Wind."
Was it 33? 33? I don't know what it is now. It's probably like 93 trillion or something, or 322 trillion. That's what it'll be by the end of next year. Gone with the wind, huh? Like Scarlett O'Hara and Red
Like Scar,
Butler.
and that was in Trump's last State of the Union speech. He said, "Gone with the wind, gone with the wind." He goes, they don't make those tapes like they used to. That was made on that real, the real. I
Celluloid
can't remember what he called
or
it.
something.
Something kind of tape, not like the digitized. And when Public and I decoded that, it was, we have everything, Epstein Island, blah blah blah, all this kind of stuff. And then it goes more into the diamonds of, then you tie that in with the White House decorations this year was a gingerbread house. You know the story of
Oh yeah,
the
ginger.
witch
Yeah,
in the
yes.
wood that lived in the gingerbread house, and Hansel and Gretel got lost in the woods,
You know,
and
they eat them. Wants to cook them and eat them. Think
she
about that.
wants to cook them in the oven and eat the children. So all of this goes together, and I think so. There's a documentary. This was years ago that I saw. National Geographic was working on a documentary about the missing Indigenous women and children,
Mhm.
and if that comes out, that's what has been going on, and then that's what these
It's
diamonds are
it's
like.
been in your literature for hundreds of years. They've been telling you and putting it in your face and teaching it to kids, at a young age. Why do you think I talk about vampires? It's like all that
Right.
stuff's real. It's all real.
Hmm.
And it's just like, wake up, people. It's not
I know.
about all this other garbage.
So
Nonsense.
that's we kind of went through. I mean, I was just finding all this stuff yesterday, so I shared that on the show on yesterday with Johnny, and then this morning or last night I saw the thing about the football team eating their Pop-Tart
I
mascot.
mean, come on. I mean,
It's everywhere.
seriously, it's just so ridiculous. And it's like normalizing cannibalism. It's normal.
Yes.
So you could be a part of the cannibal club. Join today, before the end of the year special, 1995, and then you get an extra 6 months free or something. We'll
These
throw in a
people
finger.
are sick.
Yeah, they are sick, but that's a real thing. The cannibal club. Go look that up and start doing some research on it. And it's like, really? Yeah, it's a real
Wow.
thing. Real thing. And it's out in the open. It's
Oh
like
my God.
LA or something.
Disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just insane to me. Like, there's just so much.
Ever watch Eyes Wide Shut? There's just
No.
like your entree into the dark world. That's just superficial, entrance into it. But I mean, it goes so much darker, so much deeper. What else do they have time to do? These people have been billionaires and owned everything for how many, generations. They're into some weird stuff. I mean, they've done everything else. I mean, it's like that's where they have to go with things. And they're inbreds, and it's like really
Crazy.
yeah, they're nuts. They're psychopaths. They're vampires. They're nuts. Not human.
Yeah, you have to be not human and capable of like human empathy. And I mean, I just to do the kinds of things that like the kind of things that they talk about. I don't know. Apparently, The Sound of Freedom is going to be played on the like regular TV over the
It's on
weekend.
Amazon Prime right now. If you got a Prime
Oh, okay.
subscription,
It's
you
on
can go
Amazon
watch it.
Prime right now.
Yep.
Everyone should go watch it. I thought it was pretty soft, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
But I am aware of a lot of dark things.
There's an onion at the core level. It makes you really cry and break down when you get to it and you cut through to it. And so you need outer layers for some people to kind of peel it back until you're ready to get to that.
Right. There's another movie called God is a Bullet that I stumbled upon after that shows a lot of like realistic situations of how kind of people get compromised and put into different situations, and the satanic rituals that happen in the human trafficking industry. I call it industry, the sick
it's an industry
world of it.
It's a moneymaker.
It is. And it's very realistic, and it was disturbing. I kind of think that may have been intended to be the movie or the original, and it was too harsh for most normies. And so then they came out with like The Sound of Freedom, and that was much softer.
Softcore.
Yeah. But if somebody's looking for like, if you need to punch someone in the throat, you might show them God is a Bullet.
God is a silver bullet.
Yeah. So that was quite interesting. So all that's kind of rolling out. There's stuff happening with the banks, of course. We're seeing all that. Johnny was confirming more of that. He's seeing a lot of the payment systems having issues, and just a lot of technical stuff. So Rita was talking about the flare going off and people having issues with their not that one. Woo, take a drink. I love that little meme. That little girl. I'll have to pull her up here in a minute. But
cue it up.
The solar flares messing with people's like energy, having trouble sleeping, having trouble wild dreams, different things like that. So I didn't know if you were having any of those issues. I know I haven't been able to sleep the last
issues. You want me to get started on issues?
You got issues, Westwood?
I feel like George Costanza's father, Frank Costanza. Issues? You want me to talk about issues? I'll tell you about it.
I love
Happy Festivus, everyone.
You got issues, Westwood?
I do.
Tell me your issues.
Not enough tissues.
I'm here to listen.
Join my Patreon and I'll listen for a long time. I listen a long time. Hey, everybody. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate you spending your time to wrap this year up. I mean, are we going to do a live stream on New Year's Eve? Probably not. I'm sure a lot of people are setting up live streams on New Year's Eve to kind of like,
think about it.
Doing that kind of thing. But I mean, here we are.
I'll probably just go to bed and hope it.
I know. It's like quickly. I can't even stay up till midnight anymore, unless it's Friday night on Spaces and I'm running on alcohol. But other than that, I can't go. I mean, I don't stay up that late. I'm an old man. Can't do these things anymore.
Well, my problem is that I do stay up that late. I can't sleep. And so I've tried to like turn my computer off, take my phone away so that I'm not going down the rabbit hole, because I end up finding information on stuff and then I start researching it because I really want to know if that's true. And then I find other information about stuff. There's so many things happening right now. All you have to do is look. If you're wondering if something's happening right now, it is.
I can't keep up.
you literally cannot keep up. I mean, there's judges acting like wildly like tyrant dictators. I mean, this crazy bitch in
Attorney
Maine.
General, Secretary of State. Yeah, I mean, these people, I mean, just
I
saying,
mean,
well, I've decided that, this is
but
not
she
going to
did
put it
it
on the
like a
ballot.
coward, like a effing coward.
Well,
She said,
it's fair.
she defaulted and said, like, well, I'm I'm just making this decision based on what Colorado did. Trump hasn't been he hasn't even been
So we have a
accused
pre-electoral
of
college
anything. He
now.
hasn't even had charges brought against him,
I know you're not
accusing
convicted of
him of
anything.
the insurrection.
Not
Then
convicted in a court of law. Not
he has
convicted
not
by
been
Congress.
convicted.
Was impeached but not convicted. So I mean, that's basically the only recourse you have on a president. He gets
Right.
impeached, gets convicted, gets removed, that kind of thing. But
Hasn't happened. No. And you have the most aggressive prosecutor who has not even convicted or made charges against him. Like, so I don't know. It's just really wacky that, and the thing that they're doing, it's not even like when Trump says, it's not, they're not coming for me, they're coming for you. I'm just getting in the way. This is exactly what he's talking about. They're
yes,
actually taking away the voters'
before
rights.
you have an opportunity to even cast your vote and give
Right.
your opinion, your voice, they've taken it away. They've silenced you.
Hmm.
So that state just basically silenced you. You have no
Yeah.
voice. One person.
Yeah. That's completely insane. And that's where like that person needs to be fired because they just violated their office.
Again,
Um,
what's okay? Okay, so the end game is who's going to fire them, who's going to remove them.
we the
Ultimately,
people.
exactly, it comes down to we the people in some way, fashion, manner, form, whatever it is. It may be shunning them on the street. It may be not serving them anymore. It may be not following their orders anymore. Whatever it is, you have to make an individual choice to say, I am not going to participate and feed this vampire casino game anymore. And you have to do that at an individual level, and if enough individuals say, we're done, you really have no authority. I mean, we gave you the authority, you abused it. No longer do you serve the people. It's obvious. And then there has to be consequences. And
Yeah.
so it's up to us to determine what those are. Again, if I'm a waiter in a restaurant and one of these people show up, I'm not going to serve them. I will actually shun them, shame them. You lose your job, so what? Go get another waiter job.
It's
Doesn't
fair.
matter. It gets to that point, though. I mean, it does, to where it's like, no, you don't deserve the respect. You don't deserve my attention, and I am not going to serve you. No, that's just one small example.
No, I think that's absolutely fair. And not just that, but at some point, like we have to go to, I was reading something and Polly's mentioning it, and I'm trying to remember if it said that like we're supposed to go to the military or if we're supposed to go to the sheriff. Um,
Ultimately, that's like your best opportunity is to elect a good sheriff, because that sheriff is like the president of the county, elected by everybody to represent everybody and swearing an oath to the Constitution. So, and that's
okay.
kind of your first thing that you should probably do is get a good sheriff in charge. And then they don't have things like Broward County happening, you know, schools getting, anyway, but
I
ports,
can't.
things getting smuggled in. So you've got to have a good sheriff to basically represent the rights of the people in the county. I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, start there.
I can't tell which way my dates are going. 19th, December 20th. Trying to find this. So there's this one group that that I follow on Twitter, and they have this supposed signed letter from JFK Jr. And I posted it in a chat. And where is it? I thought I had a picture of it. Dang. Why is it? How is it that I could have shared it with you guys without having a picture of it? That's not possible.
Yeah, is it, yeah, the chat, you can copy
Okay,
that.
I'll just do that. I just didn't want to share too much like
Yeah, just copy the picture and save your
private
photos.
information.
Well, if you save it to your photo roll, I'm sure that it's
Well, I thought I
already shared
did.
to the world.
Oh, that's true.
You know, it's
Everybody's spying on
we're
us
all being
anyway. It's fine.
surveilled. It's you remember the movie Enemy of the State with Gene Hackman and I think Will Smith? Wasn't that who it was? I mean, back in 1997 or 8. I mean,
Mm.
all that way back then was already implemented. And so they were just like rolling it out then. Imagine how far, the 25 years, how far along they are. They are watching and monitoring everything. And so you got to realize that, understand that. And it's like, all right, well, somebody has to run the system. And if you're participating and, facilitating running that system and targeting people, we saw that in the chat there, targeting, you gotta make a decision. Are you going to be with the beast? Or are you going to be with the light?
Let me see.
And then I guess the light can
And
be,
I
if you
posted a video that I made
other ways.
from a video I watched, but I made a really short video that basically said, like, the collapse should have happened in 2008,
8.
and
Yep.
it
I've said that
mentions
too. I've always felt that. That's when it
and
happened.
it
And then they,
shows Epstein connected to Bear Stearns and the accounts and
mhm.
Khashoggi and the whole bit.
Yeah. Remember
And so
Khashoggi?
mhm,
Ooh.
is a thing.
Mm.
And so I took, like, screenshots of this video, and I put it all together, and I put it on my Patreon, because I don't think I can probably share it on here.
Probably
Um,
not.
but what you drinking, Westwood?
Maybe I should start singing. That'll get us knocked
That'll
off
get
real
us in
quick.
all kinds of trouble.
I'm drinking some gin with a tonic mixer.
Oh, I got kicked off of Twitter on my computer, and I haven't
Well,
figured
there
out
you
how to
are.
get back on, so I can't share it on that way either. I'll just have to get creative. I don't know
Too
if
many
I can share it
platforms.
this
Hang
way.
on. Do you want me to like text you the image that you texted me earlier? Will that
Oh,
work?
I can maybe text it to myself,
Yes. Texting with
or
myself.
maybe my computer has caught up with my no, it hasn't caught up yet, but I could text it to myself. Trying to oh, it's so frustrating.
Exactly. I mean, we've got, I can't even, I'll just call you EV in the chat. Capital E, capital V. Oh, I 100% agree. I mean, everything you say, everything you do, they absolutely know exactly who everybody is. And at any moment, they can completely exterminate you and wipe you off the face of the earth. You realize at that point that, okay, what matters? What's the battle that we're really in? And to me, it's awakening people. It's awakening people to the truth, hoping that they can find their own path. Because, again, life is temporary. I mean, it really is. How long are you going to live? What's the average life expectancy? It's gone down after the last 3 years in America. Imagine that after it's gone up for how long? Something happened. What was it? But you're only here so long, so you have to give your energy to those things that matter, and it has to be towards, I think, spreading truth, spreading. The people need to activate people. That's really the thing. I was asked when I was student teaching, interviewed, on Channel One. They had little TVs in the corner, Channel One, Anyway, and then they have the little segment the local school can put up there. And I was interviewed when I was student teaching. It says, "Well, why are you in teaching? What's the big thing that you want to do about teaching? I mean, what's your motivation?" I said, "Basically, I'm here to inspire people to be who they, need to be." And that
Mhm,
has never changed
and you
throughout my
still
entire
are.
life.
Yeah,
That's the way it is, because it's
you
like
still
I
are.
can't tell you what to do. I can give you information, and that's not even enough, because you can get all the information now. Before, I felt like, man, I see things, before everybody else, but now, man, everybody's like way past me, because there's so much,
No,
all the
that's not true.
information's out there. It's out there, and you can do it yourself, but you have to take that step. You have to be
Mhm,
self-motivated enough and know what kind of battle you're in, know what kind of forces you're up against, to take that step on your own. But the thing is, most people don't do that because they're stuck in a rut and like, I can't make a change. BS.
yeah,
And that's hopefully what I can do. And that's my goal in life, is to inspire other people to wake up out of the slumber and realize that you can carve out a path. You can do something to affect the world, the universe, in the spiritual war. You have the ability. All it takes, I mean, room full of darkness, one match. Look what that does. You got
yeah,
multiple matches. Holy cow, there's hope. And you just keep going with that. And once you kind of get to that point, you're kind of at that nirvana, zen, peace level, whatever you want to call it, fill in the blank. And you're like, hey, I'm doing everything I can every day to try and put something out there to inspire other people to be who they are and why they came here. And who
Yes.
cares if they know who I am? I don't care. I'm flesh and blood. I'm going to
Right.
smoke
I'm
myself
glad
and
they
drink
know who
myself
I
to
am.
death
They better
anyway.
know who I am, because like
Yes.
the hell
If
I
you're not
won't,
on a list, then
as
you're
my
not doing
shirt says.
enough.
I love this shirt. I got up in a little bit of a mood today, so I wore my "The Hell I Won't" shirt because I
The
just was
hell
like,
I won't.
mess
That's
with
like
me.
Queen Lisa's mantra.
The
It's
hell
her
I won't.
hell I
Yes.
won't.
Yeah. Mess with me. Dare me.
Damn,
Underestimate me.
no damn Sasquatch telling me I'm short.
That's right.
F you.
That's my superpower, that I'm short.
Oh.
Underestimate me. That's
Mm-hmm.
my superpower.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and everybody has a superpower like that. Like, and that's where you like embrace that stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's what we came here to do. We came
Right.
here to do this stuff, and we came here to do this together. So, like, be the light that you are.
Yes.
Um, so this is from Ezra Cohen. Supposedly, it is a letter from John F. Kennedy Jr., the 19th vice president. Here is the real intel. No one but us will tell you the truth. Don't play their reptilian game. They have been doing this for 26,000 years, heavily infiltrated into the light channels. Pedophiles are the virus. The US military is the vaccine. All you need is a little adrenaline, which that's interesting.
Hmm.
I don't know what that means.
I can go two
Um,
ways.
I guess your own adrenaline.
Yeah, or the other side of it is that's what causes the whole the
Yeah,
adrenaline just a little bit.
a
Anyway,
little
I don't know.
bit. Okay,
A little
that's
bit gets it
interesting.
going.
Yeah.
So that's both sides of it.
This is the digital battlefield. The virus is nanotechnology inside you, which could be your DNA nanotechnology. Buckle up, Anons. It's happening. There are programs inside your quantum mind and chakras, um, pulling and controlling your nanotechnology strings. The battle between good versus evil is recognizing where they have been stored inside you. The children have been saved. It was over before it started, keeping you stuck at the vaccine passport, stuck between General Flynn fighting General Lynn Wood, watching the Capitol riot information unfold, the news about another fabricated fighting against another fabricated country. It's their game. Everyone had free choice. Those that couldn't see were them. Run with us or run from us. Cut through the matrix. It's already done. Waiting for the news to tell you what you already know. The military, the National Guard, the Galactic Alliance, it's already done. And when you wake up, the whole world is about to change. Shut down. Q. John F. Kennedy Jr.,
Yeah,
19th
and there's a
president.
lot there, and I mean, it comes down to, I don't know where that comes from. If that comes from, who knows? You got to make of it
Mhm.
what you will, but ultimately, it does come down to, what I was saying. You've got to be self-inspired to actually awaken and like use your discernment, use who you are inside, and know that you're capable of making decisions for yourself, and when something doesn't feel right, and you
Mhm.
just don't do it, go the other way. I mean, you've got to get in touch with that. I mean, because again, if you believe that you're not some amoeba that crawled out of the ocean onto and then developed into a human being, all this stuff. If you believe that you are a divine creation from God, the universal God, that you're a part of that, and that's who you are. If you believe that, then you've got to know that, hey, he's not going to abandon you. You don't abandon your children. If he's your father or she's your mother, whatever, whatever,
Right.
if that's the source, they're not going to cut you off. And I mean, reconnect with it. You got all the tools. You got the toolbox inside of you. It's your DNA. It's all the receptors. It's all the things that you are. Reconnect with that. That's why people meditate. That's why people pray.
Yeah.
I mean, and you've got to, one on one and connect, and then discern what the truth is, because I'm telling you, I feel it. There's so much deception out there. It's like second, third, fourth, fifth layer right now going on, to where it's just like you don't know what's right, what's truth. But you got it. That's why you step back and say, all right, nothing but noise. I don't need all that. I don't need someone to tell me. I don't need that. And then that's when you got to get inside and reconnect. Because again, like I always said, you got the red phone to God. I mean,
Right.
it's in you. You got the hotline. Connect to it. Pick up
Right.
the phone. Start
Well, and
talking.
that's some of the thing where, like, I just was like, when I was having that trouble sleeping and all that, I'm like, okay, stop getting on the computer and the
Yeah, I know.
phone and all that,
Because
because you know that those are their systems that they control. We know that the satellites are corrupted. We've seen the data through blockchain, through the maps and all that kind of stuff. Like, so if you know that that water is poisonous, if you know that stove is hot, don't touch it. you know so that's where I was trying to like disconnect a little bit, and um you know and trust myself and all that. So but then when I do also listen to information or whatever, and people that I do um not defer my uh kind of discernment to, but I respect information coming from them, and then I
yeah,
discern what
absolutely,
what they're
absolutely.
you know, and I'll take different points from different
Because
people
you
and
don't know
kind of
all
put
the
that
answers.
together.
I mean,
No,
and that's the thing. If we were pure spiritual beings, it'd be easy
absolutely.
because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, boom, we're all in the same gel and connected, and But no, we're polluted, and we've self-polluted, and not necessarily always self-polluted. These bodies, it's like that onion analogy to where we've got the core of it inside of us, but it's wrapped around all these layers, so our sensations aren't, permeating, and sometimes you're like, it doesn't always get through because here we are in these imperfect vessels that deteriorate from day one, and it makes it hard to like spiritually reconnect and know what the truth is. And once we leave our bodies, we're like, oh, man, I did it, I should have done that. And you're like, because it's very obvious once you leave. It's like, boom, reconnecting with the essence. But so it is hard. and
Yeah.
and that's the struggle. I mean, we all struggle, and that's written about it for thousands of years. All the famous authors and poets, but you got
There
to reconnect with it. You got to go inside, because that's where all the answers are. All that stuff out there is noise. It's all right here. You got it. You got all the tools. Because you think about it, if you're God and you create people, it's like, these are my children.
That's
You're
right.
not going to cut them off completely. You know what I mean? You're there's got to be a thin wire at least, like.
Well, so one time somebody told me that the reason like the demons and angels are pissed off is that God created humans, us, and that we sin, but he gave us free will so that
Yeah,
we would have the ability to choose him, because what fun is it to make a robot that you just boss around? Like, kids get bored of those things,
yeah,
but
it's
they
like,
love
okay,
a
I've
puppy.
programmed everything I thought I could do, and
Right,
it's
but
done all the
they
things I'd
never
like to
get
do, and
bored.
now
Yeah, they never get bored of a real puppy because the puppy chooses you,
no, right.
if you love and take care of it, whatever. And so
Thinking
it's the
about that
same kind
today.
of thing. Um, and that that's where, like, if people would understand some of that, like, parent child relationship kind of thing, and apparently, like, the demons, angels are pissed off that God favors us even though
Even though we mess up,
we
even though
mess up.
whatever.
Yeah.
But think about it.
And
That's a good thing to think about, though, the parent-child relationship. So
mhm.
you've got the creator, and you've got us, and then what about all those other things that are trying to, demons, and what, fallen angels, whatever you want to call them. Are they having children? Do they have that relationship?
So it's my understanding from what I've been watching Uncle Cliff is that one of the sets of them only are male and cannot have children. So that's why they lie with the daughters of men
Yeah.
and have like these
To try
demigod
to Nephilim and that kind of
things.
thing.
Yeah, I don't really understand it, but that's part of what, like when there were giants on the earth, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
there still are, then those were hidden by
There's a lot of evidence
the
for it.
government, all that. Yeah. In fact, a friend of mine that I talked to today said that when they went in to bomb, I think it was Saddam, they went to the museum first
They took all the artifacts,
and
and
they
they
took all
stole
the
all the,
artifacts,
yeah,
including giant bones and things like that. And
Stargates.
yeah, some of that stuff. So I don't know. This is just what I heard.
It's hard to know.
A friend
That's
of
why you got to go
ours
inside.
posted in the chat about, is there new information about the water? A friend of mine sent me this. It is on Gateway Pundit, saying there was viral levels in the water supply. This information is just coming out now, but I will tell you that it was mentioned in the NDAA from Trump's last NDAA when he was, publicly in office, and that it will be revealed by the military that there's testing on the water, and that will be exposed to us. I think it has more to do with. I don't know that it has to do with the virus as much as the plastics, the forever plastics, the PFAs.
And the pharmaceuticals that they
Yes, and
constantly find in the water supply. Somebody
right.
last night on the show was talking about, how in California they're going to recycle, basically your toilet water, your
They already
wastewater,
do,
gray water. Yeah, I mean they all
and
do
that's
that.
what
Everybody does
think
that,
about
and
all the
that's okay from the standpoint of, because there's so much water and the earth filters it, the ground filters it. You think about, you go outside and dogs pee on the ground, it goes into your well water. Well, it's all filtered naturally by the earth. The problem is when you have like municipal water, they recycle it. You've got all the pharmaceuticals that people, expel, that goes in the water supply. If they're not taking that out and they're just taking the dirt out of it and taking the mud out of it, and then they chlorinate it, and it smells like bleach. But that stuff's still in it. So you're like constantly being redrugged,
well,
through
so
the
they
water.
at the colleges, I guess they have like these big clinics where they have all these kids getting on uh birth control pills and whatever, and then so all of those hormones are going into our water system,
Yep.
and then
We got gay frogs.
well, okay, it's not a joke, but there's a huge epidemic of low testosterone in young men in their 20s, mid-20s,
Right.
that are
And you see it.
starting to take testosterone shots, like the old guys that,
Yeah,
they're like, it,
I
used to
know.
be 1,000 or something. I don't know the numbers really, but
You
it's
think
like,
of your grandparents and it's like 80-year-old guy. It's just like,
yeah,
grizzly
and
and
these
still just, grab you
how
by
do
the neck and
how do you
just
weaken a country? You
exactly. You
emasculate the
change them.
men.
Okay, that gets to the whole Baphomet thing, the male female,
Yes.
statue of, we're going to blend genders and gender blending, and that's what we're going to do. And so they do that at a macro level.
JB Rants, read this
Yes,
book.
exactly. There you go.
But I know you're
That's
teasing me, JB. But this talks about how much World War II never ended.
androgenized.
They brought the scientists over here, and we have been the testing ground for
Yeah,
them
you're the
to
guinea pig.
continue the tests, the chemical castration, the spraying different whatever. Like the whole first part of this book, I was so pissed off by the time I got to there's so much highlighter and folded pages in this book.
Is government your friend?
Mhm.
Government loves you.
No, I can't even tell you. So everyone get this book, Fruit from a Poisonous Tree, from Melvin Stamper, and educate yourself.
Yes, and when you're going to buy fruits, buy the ones that have like the dents, and they're oblong, weird looking, and not perfect. Those are the fruits that you want, because those are actual real fruits from real trees that have probably been around for 50 years. I mean, the fruit isn't perfect. When you go to the store, it looks fake. If it
And
looks
I'm
fake, it is
recommending
fake.
books today because if we do have a blackout in the next
Yes, go get
nearby,
all the books. Get all
yes,
the books.
I'm recommending books
They're
today.
basically free.
My
Go to the
other
thrift shops.
recommendation is somebody mentioned earlier, Whitney Webb. She has a
Mm-hmm.
new interview out with Peter McCormick.
That's
Her
a good one.
latest,
I
it
saw
was
that one.
great.
It's a really good one. And he's
It's
like, I'm like,
yeah.
hello, McFly. Yes, they're trying to kill you and hijack you. Hello. And he's like, maybe they are. I don't know.
Maybe they are. He's like, wait a minute, what is your book called? So
Yeah.
these are her first two volumes. Volume 3 is about to come out. It has not come out yet, to my knowledge. And in the interview, she did not say it was out yet, but One Nation Under Blackmail, Volume 1 and Volume 2, these lead up to all the Epstein stuff.
It shows you the formula of how they operate now. It's just been
Starting
expanded.
from World War II,
Yeah.
and leading up to that. And my little quick video on Patreon kind of like fast forwards that just from the Bear Stearns, like it kind of wraps it up on that kind of thing. One last book that I will recommend from G. Edward Griffin, The Creature from Jekyll Island. This is a great book. So when we have whatever blackout might happen, most likely it'll be like, if I had to guess, it's going to be more of like the satellite collapse. And then we'll get our Tesla phones connected to X and our Everything app. You will choose whether you want to be a part of that system.
I'm going steampunk
or not.
I'm going full steampunk.
Yeah.
At that point, I mean, you have the choice to, do that, and I've seen that. You go into this world, this new digital age, to where all have all these glorious things, and then I'm like, I'm gonna take some of that stuff and like keep doing the old stuff with it. Blend the steampunk blend. That's where I want to be. To where it's like, yeah, I love technology when it's not hijacked and when it's not controlled, and so use those tools to kind of, I don't know. Ultimately, I'm just this guy that likes to have my feet in the dirt.
Yeah. I like being barefoot. I prefer the barefoot session. My husband thinks it's crazy. He's like, I'm freezing. Got like 2 sweatshirts and the flannel on, but I'm completely barefoot. And he's like, put some shoes on. I'm like, no,
I'm connecting. I'm connecting.
JB, I would
don't wear shoes.
Yeah, completely honored to have Whitney Webb on my show. I think she's really, really genuine, and I think she's a fighter, and I have a lot of respect for her.
Yeah, no, I really like her. I really do. I mean, she's just, she doesn't come to it with, you would think, oh, is this some kind of a liberal, or where's she come from? And it's like, no, she's just kind of searching through the morass and digging, and whatever.
Everything is
search for the truth.
So as a homeschool mom, we have to, what is it called? Where you, when
critically think.
Well, critically think. But once a year, we write this big paper together. Or I help.
Like a dissertation?
So all the documents to support her work, these are all taken out of court documents. They are, she
like
shows.
A bibliography?
A bibliography, thank you. So she shows director of FBI, this and that, Albuquerque, classified or unclassified, FBI investigation records. All of this is taken out of documents. This is not her opinion. She's not making things up. She is taking these all out of documents.
Yep,
and so that's where it's just very factual.
And I mean, the reality is stranger than the fiction. I mean, it really is. It's just, this is the real thing. This is how people work. I want to get this out there. I thought about, the whole leave the world behind thing, where at the end of the movie, she's eating all the chips and all these things. And, she got to watch the last episode of Friends. And it's like, my thing would be, okay, let's find the bunker, but I want that bunker with all the books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you don't need anything else. I mean, that's my whole background. That's why I went into and got my degree. I got it in English. I got it in literature primarily. I don't care about the English and the grammar so much, but it's the literature, and it's the connection to humanity. It's the voices from the past that tell the truth, that permeate into, they're timeless. And those are the things. And, before the show, you showed me that book because you understand who I am. And it's just, that's what can maintain, nourish your soul. And because we've had the same experiences throughout time. Books are so important. That's the most, probably, other than Litecoin and silver, the most undervalued thing right now. Books. You can get them for $0.25. You've gone thrifting, you know what it's like. Stacks of books.
I mean, this book, Creature of Jekyll Island, I have 2 copies of this, because if I ever run across, there's certain books, every estate sale, I look at the books, and I rescued for like $3. Are you kidding me?
It's a great book. I mean, it really is. And
Yeah.
I mean, that right there will like,
I have a
change your
whole
mind
stack over here
on
that
reality in
they're like
America.
from the 1940s about economic geography. There's one, oh, I can't remember. There's some more. It's the history, states history in Texas. There's some other ones like that because the history used to change. Now we have blockchain. We have opportunities to actually have true uh,
To lock it in.
history to lock it in. Yeah, but there's,
But
you
that's
know,
like the ultimate blockchain. I mean, it's
yeah.
not blockchain, but it's like, you think about that. You've got
Yeah.
all these books, and it's like you can't take that history away. Now, how often have you gone to, and you always seen it, you go to Netflix, you go to Hulu, you go to all these online platforms, and you think about, oh man, there's so many things. I could have a whole show about this. But you go and you look, and it's like, oh, leaving soon. This movie's leaving soon. You got like 3 days to watch it. And they're like, well, where's it going? You know, and it's
Mhm.
like, what this is, I want to watch this movie. They can take away knowledge in the digital age, and I guess that's the point. With a book, they can't take it away. I mean, you always have it. Like if you have that VHS tape of that movie, The Wizard of Oz, you can always
Mhm.
watch it. you know with the digital age, it's so easy for them to say, okay, you have this is cultivated for you on your feed, on your timeline, whatever it is. But hey, I want to watch this movie. Well, you can rent it or buy it. What if it's not available to rent or buy? Where are you going to get it? There's no movie shops anymore to where you can go rent it. I mean, if you don't have it in your possession, if you don't have that video and have something to play it with, if you don't have that book in your possession, where are you going to get it?
Well, and that goes to,
All
let me
that
find
knowledge
this
is
clip really quick.
Fahrenheit 451,
I
burned
think I
up.
can find it.
Ray Bradbury. Get that book. Have it in your possession.
Yes, there's this guy that was talking and he was explaining the whole T-Mobile, the how the cloud thing, and let me see if I can find it. I think Rice
Yes, Daddy O.
retweeted it.
Cookbooks and gardening books. Nobody buys those when you go to the thrift store. Scoop those up, and the wife's going to be pissed off because you brought all those home. But get them, hoard them, put them somewhere. Because, I mean, think about Jefferson. Think of all these people. They had libraries they donate to the Library of Congress. But that's how they educated themselves. I mean, that's how people were educated in the past. They didn't have schools necessarily. They were homeschooled. They read books. They had money so that they could bring books in. Those are the wealthy people, and they had books, and that's what they did. They learned. They had all this in their possession. We got to return to that. I mean, we've got to get to that point because, think about it. If everything stops tomorrow, where are you at? What do you have? I mean, you have what you've learned, with your experience, but, where do you learn other things that you really need to do? How to, what to grow, how to grow it, what to, season rotation, crops, that kind of thing.
Yes.
How do you know how to do that stuff? You better have something that teaches you. Otherwise,
Well, that's where, Joe was saying on Thursday morning on, WBRT to put
mhm,
stuff in the Faraday cage. That's what, Warrior's talking about in the quote right here. He said he's saying, "Go download the Gutenberg, library," and, he put it on, like, a big hard drive thing and then
mhm,
put it in a Faraday bag, and he
yeah.
was like, "You know what? If something goes down, I have the whole
Well, exactly. And take a laptop
library."
or a portable or
Yeah.
a tablet and wrap it all up, because then you can restore it. Have a solar panel, protected too, because then you can charge it. I mean, and think about that.
Mhm.
You can house libraries of information that way, but you got to protect it. Um, rather than have all the books that can burn and all that. But I mean, there's different ways to do that, but you got to start kind of taking those steps. And it's not that it doesn't cost that much to do it, but most
Right.
people don't think that way, doomsday scenario. Oh my gosh, if this can
Well, or they
happen,
think someone else is going to do it for them, I
oh,
think.
somebody will figure it out. That's
Yeah.
most people. Oh, it'll get figured out. Yeah, we might have 10 days of darkness. Oh, this might happen, but somebody's going to code us out of it. Somebody's going to figure it out. And it's like, well,
Mhm.
I'm not counting on those people, because how
No.
many times have you been let down by human beings and
This is
people because they have
where
on
I
their own agenda.
more information about where I think they will take down the satellite system that's corrupt. This guy's kind of explaining it. So this is connection with that notice that went up on T-Mobile. You can go to T-Mobile's website, and I'll try to show you the posting about it. But there is a notice on there where they have kind of soft announced it on January 1. They are going to start doing fining people for hate. It's like SHAT, hate, violence, alcohol, tobacco, and something else. Is it shared? I think it's shared. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Story, and I don't think it's going to get covered.
Okay.
All right. So can I explain it to you?
Yeah.
And then you can just tell me if I sound crazy.
Okay.
Because I'm going to sound crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. 99% of the phones in the world
This is how I feel when
are
I
being
talk to
tracked
people.
by every single government through push notifications. And the United States government actually has a gag order on the 2 largest phone companies through their operating systems to make sure that no one knows about it. And it was just confirmed by a letter via the chairman of the Committee on Finance in the Senate.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So you're saying that all the governments?
So this is how he words it. All right.
Okay.
Senator Ron Wyden, in a letter to the Attorney General, he states that last year he got a tip, his office got a tip, that foreign governments were reaching out to Google and Apple. Now that's important because Android phones make up 70% of every operating system in the world.
All right.
On every phone.
Okay.
The other 29% is Apple.
Yeah.
Mostly
Both of
US.
those companies were being reached out to by foreign governments who were requesting push notification data.
Push notification data?
So you know when somebody sends you a text?
Yeah.
Okay. And you get that little thing that pops up at the top of the screen.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you like this thing. Or like Amazon sends you a little bing. It's like, oh, just so you know, Magneto helmets are 30% off. And then you click the button and buy.
I cannot believe you bought that Magneto
Okay,
helmet.
ignore this. The governments are tracking us, okay?
All right.
I will put it on so they don't hear my thoughts.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you get that, that's a push notification.
Yeah.
Okay. But that doesn't come directly from your app. That, through these services, goes from the app to a cloud server.
Okay.
And then it goes to your phone.
All right.
So these governments are subpoena and requesting the information from the cloud server, not from your phone, not from the app, but from Google and from Apple. And so these governments, we don't know what governments, it just says in the letter, foreign countries are reaching out and collecting this data. Now, the assumption being ones that the United States has security partnerships with throughout the world.
Maybe.
But also maybe the United States government as well. Because when his office reached out and were like, we want more information about this, both Google and Apple stated to the senator, who is the chairman of the Committee on Finance, he has the clearance. We can't tell you because we're under a gag order by the United States government. So this senator is asking the Attorney General, hey, lift the gag order and let people know if they're being surveilled through the push notifications. Because those push notifications could have things like in a text, who the text came from, maybe like a little bit of the preview of the body of the text, maybe other metadata in there, like where the text was being sent from or other things, like when you drop a pin to tell someone your location, and it tells you in the push notification, tons of information could be up there.
Yeah.
And like, this just came out, but I'm already seeing it like not getting any traction anywhere.
Why not?
Well, because Apple and Google pay a lot in advertising
Yeah.
and they also run the algorithms that track of how people find out information.
Okay, yeah, so they're not going to want this to get out.
Yeah, and so they're just going to be like, maybe it'll just go away.
So should we get tinfoil and make tinfoil hats?
No, I bought a Magneto helmet.
I know you bought a
That way they
Magneto
can't
helmet.
read my push
I
notifications.
don't think it's going to work.
I think I couldn't hurt.
Everyone buy a Magneto helmet right now. Run on Magneto helmets.
Yeah, I mean, there's something to that. I mean, there really is. We had the, you saw what happened in, what was it, September, October, where we had the national broadcast. You know, everybody's like, what was it?
The EBS.
Yeah, the EBS.
Thing, yeah.
EBS thing. A lot of people, you know, hey, I'm going to put my phone in a Faraday cage, this and that. It's a good test. I've got well, I don't even want to say it. You know, I got an old phone, you know, that I keep, you know, somewhere. And, you know, I bring it out the other day and my daughter's like, why is it wrapped in tinfoil? You know, and it's like,
A run
Because you
on
never know.
tinfoil.
You got to protect certain things, and it's like it's
Mhm.
just you build your own Faraday cage, and there's different ways to do that. You go look that up, and if you think that it's happened before, and now technology is out there. I mean, you may lose everything that you have, all your data, and it goes back to the books. It goes back to everything that you have right now. How many people know what the phone number is of? I heard a story of someone,
I
something
don't know
happened
my
at their
spouse's
house,
phone
and they
number.
couldn't call their neighbors for help. What was it?
Yeah.
There's a video out to where it's like, I'm calling the police department. I need somebody to come here. Well, we don't have an officer to send. Can you call a neighbor? Can
Yes.
you call somebody to help you? Well, I don't know my
Mhm.
neighbor's number. My phone. This guy's got my
Mhm.
phone. We don't even know phone numbers of people. And
Yeah.
again, you're using that infrastructure. But the thing is, we are so dependent upon a centralized, organized, easy system right now that they've made easy and enslaved us into that you got to start thinking, okay, what if that stuff goes away? How do I do the things that I need to do to survive? How do I get help? It's
It's scary. It's really scary.
Second Amendment's important. I'll just say that.
Mhm. It is. It's
Might want
very
to.
important. Um, where is the thing that I posted? There was the Michael Cohen thing. He got caught using fake cases and using ChatGPT to write his
Yes, government's watching me. Absolutely
thing.
aware, and I don't care.
Um,
I just don't care. I'm past it. I'm beyond it.
the Texas authorities, which Sean had kind of warned about this, have started the arrests at the U.S.-Mexico border. So, which
All
is
right. There's two things there.
okay.
Earlier this week, we had a document that was leaked or whatever that said Texas pretty much gave, I don't know how much money it was. I don't know if it was $1 billion. I don't know. I can't keep track of the zeros anymore, but they're paying contractors. You got to think about this
Mhm.
logically. They're busing people to Chicago. They're busing people to
Yeah.
cities. Who's paying those people to bus, and how much are they paying them? And the word is that they're getting $5,000 a head to bus these immigrants coming across the Texas border to cities across the United States. This is funded by the Texas government directly from the governor, Abbott. $5,000 a person. Well,
Isn't that trafficking?
kinda, you'd think. But we're going to stop it at the border. So you've got this dichotomy. You've got this, this
Yeah, wait, if
cognitive
you're
dissonance
stopping
that's
it at
going
the
on.
border and returning them or arresting them, that's one thing.
But
If
you're
you're
paying
sending them
people a
on,
lot of money to put them in the interior of the country, put them somewhere else. And it's almost like it's another big money grab. You're just getting scammed again. And how long is it before the Palestinians get resettled here in America? Because they got nowhere else to go. Send them to America.
well, what's Trump been talking about? The snake. He's been warning people with that poem, The Snake. Bring me in, tender woman, bring me in, bring me in, bring me in, tender woman, bring me in.
Oh, it's fine. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in.
Yeah, and then she feeds the snake and warms him up, and then he bites her, and she says, "Oh my God, why did you bite me?" He said,
Snake's a snake.
"A snake's a snake. You knew I was a snake when you brought me in." And that's where these other countries are seeing, look what happened in Ireland. They were It's dangerous for people to go out. You know, Women are getting raped. It was just
You see
insane.
that in Ireland, you see that in Norway, you see that, all over. It's been happening to where you've got a different thinking, that's culturally disruptive, to established, cultures. And I don't want to, because
Yeah,
we're a land of many cultures, and that's it.
right.
I think that's a good thing. I mean, we've got a lot of different things, but the thing is, we've assimilated over time, not just all at once. And when it's by design, look at the maps. You look at the NGOs. You look at the Red Cross. You look at Catholic charities. There's maps that have come out that they're distributing these people. These are the routes to get to America, to where you can, go here, go there. They have these services, and so there's a pathway all the way from South America through Central America. These are your stopping points. These are the routes. You'll get help. I mean, this is all an engineered invasion, is really what it is. And do I begrudge the people that are coming here to look for a better life because, you know, they have nothing where
No.
they're at?
Yeah.
I can't, because
No.
we all came here as immigrants.
Right.
But you got to look at, it's not just, you know, people looking for sanctuary, looking for help. It's not just that, because you look at a lot of people who are coming in, you know, what are they going to be used for in the future?
Well, and are they coming here to assimilate and look for a new life? Are they leaving that life behind, or are they coming to bring that life here?
Right.
That's what's really
Absolutely.
going
Are
on.
you trying to
Yeah.
bring, you know, yeah, and I don't want to get into
And
a
that's even
religious
into,
thing or
like,
anything.
the Democrat people leaving California and going to Austin to make
Yeah,
Austin was a really cool place, and then they made it into, like, you know, not Texas anymore.
yeah. It's
So,
like,
like,
let's
that
keep
kinda stuff
Austin
going on
weird, and
too.
now
This
it's
is
like
not
make
about
Austin
one culture.
psychopaths.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is not just one culture. Um, so I loved this quote. I said, I have a feeling this might be helpful to keep in mind as we enter into 2024, as this episode is about telling 2023 good riddance. You must always be willing to truly consider evidence that contradicts your beliefs and admit the possibility that you may be wrong. And I'm talking to myself in this. Intelligence isn't knowing everything, it's the ability to challenge everything you know. Because I feel like I've learned and grown so much by friends like you, Westwood, by Uncle Cliff, by Johnny, by Sean, by so many friends, my mom, my dad, my gosh, my husband, so many people in my life that have challenged me and and been strong enough friends to stand to me. The people in the chat that bring us information and say, like, hey, have you thought about this, or I want to challenge you on that. You know, let's continue to challenge each other and be open-minded and have those conversations, because that's how we learn and grow, and that's how our country is stronger. Not when we're all, you know, little.
Lockstep.
Yeah, we need to have different ideas, and we need to be able to, you know, have conversations and walk away and disagree and say, you know what, I'll consider that, and I may integrate some of those thoughts into my beliefs, but your belief doesn't have to, my belief doesn't have to change for yours to be true,
Right.
to still be true, you know?
Otherwise, there's only one religion that's going to get you to heaven or nirvana, you know, or Valhalla.
Right.
You know, it's like everybody else, you're going to hell, you know, you're going to wherever. You know, it's just,
Right. It
I
is
think I'm always
crazy.
right. I know I'm right. I think we all do. But you know, there are times where, you know, rather than engage in the argument and, you know, go to war and beat everybody up over it and try and kill each other over an idea, it's like, you know, like you said, it's an important thing to be able to step back and say, all right, I don't like what you're saying. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm going to go dwell on it. I'm going to go think about it. I'm going to go do what I have to do, meditate, pray, whatever it is, you know, get inside and really think about it and internalize it and say, is this truth or is it not truth? And I think you'll discern that. And you have to be able to do that rather than F you, send in the bombs, you know, make them a land of glass. I mean, you've got to you got to step back and, you know know who you are, know what your path is, know what's true and what is not true, and rather than just fight about things, you know, get out of the car on the expressway and punch somebody's window out, you know, oh, you know,
Right.
and it's just, you know, get the big picture and quit fighting individually and step back and you know, retool.
Well, and that goes back to the JFK Jr.
We got to
letter.
be able
Like,
to adapt.
if
I
it's
mean, that's what it
already
is. We have to
done and
adapt
we're
and
all sitting
survive.
here watching a movie and arguing about things, if you disconnect and go lead a peaceful life like that kid in the movie where she's like, "Look, I'm done waiting.
Come on.
I'm done. I'm gonna go watch my movie and have some popcorn." If you stop engaging with this broke woke system,
Yeah, I'm gonna
whatever,
go shoot somebody
and go
and blast
find your
them.
peace, yeah, where's your peace? You know?
Right. Find your peace. And that's really what it comes down to. And it's a big discussion. I mean, there's a lot of ways we can go with it, but you know, it's up to all you. It's up to everybody to you know, at least be open to that conversation, at least be open to change and in the way you think, because a lot of the ways that we've been indoctrinated to think is because it's been a big magic trick. It's been an illusion. It's been, hey, watch this while we do this, and oh, okay, this is the way it is. Okay, yeah, all right. It's not necessarily what you've been raised with, and it's not anybody's fault. It's just that at some point you have to know that, man, this just doesn't feel right. This doesn't make sense. I got to do something different. I got to find a better way. I got to find a better path, because this just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make me feel like I'm doing the right thing, and when you do the right thing, you feel it. And you know what? The universe validates that when you're
Yeah.
on the right path. You get signs. I mean, you get, these weird things that happen that, like, okay, yeah, yes. And I've seen it in my own life. I know people have seen it in their lives. And it's just like, when you kind of disconnect from everything and just kind of let go. And I've always used the analogy of, hey, it's a river of life, get in the canoe and kind of go down that river. And oh, I want to get out and do this. I want to do this. I want to do that. And it's like, there's a path here. And I mean, and you just need to follow that path, whatever it is. And I mean, you'll know it internally. And I can't put tangibles on it, but you'll know it, and you'll know it deep inside that it's right, that's the right way. But you have to be open to it. And a lot of people aren't open to it. And that's why I go back and circle back, you got to
No
inspire
circling
people to
back.
wake up, and get out of the slumber, unplug from that matrix and say, okay, it might
Well,
be
and they have
painful.
to get there when it's painful enough to
Yeah,
them. Like, when it hurts enough, they will pull their finger from the socket, from the wall socket. Did you
I've done that.
Speaking of the river of life, did you see this in Ventura, California? The water coming in, um,
Mm-hmm. I did.
it happened in a couple places
Whoa.
in Northern California, and I thought that, that was in Cliff High's data, I believe, or maybe it was a remote viewing episode, I can't
Well, it's
remember. They were
climate change, Lisa. That's the
It's
thing. You're not paying
not
your fair
climate
share. Your carbon footprint's too big, and that's why it's happening. So you need to drive
too
electric
many
cars,
cow
and
farts.
you won't have that
Yeah,
wave. Yeah.
too many cow farts. They're, yeah, and I really thought that data was
Space
gonna
goat
happen
farts.
on the East Coast, but it happened in California on the West Coast. That kinda surprised me. So, I don't know.
That's a good quote, Sir John Joseph Greenfellow. Instinct is the language of the soul. That gut feeling,
Interesting.
that knowing, just your instincts, and we have a hard time putting, language to what we feel, but instinct is, gut feeling, spidey sense, whatever it is. Those are things that we need to get in tune with, and we need to become more connected with, things that are outside of all that. That's why I say go inside. You'll feel
Oh,
it. You'll know it.
there was more information about, when we were Do Kwon apparently's case got dismissed, which I think sets everything up for the stablecoin, right?
Maybe
Luna, where is it?
the moon, werewolf,
The
dogman.
Luna. Hold on. I'm so handicapped right now because technologically handicapped because I am still signed out of Twitter. I'm sorry, you guys. I really should have tried to fix this. And I haven't, because I've tried to, like, not be so. Oh, come on. It just shows a bunch of girls. Well,
It's like
the
YouTube Shorts. Every time you go on there, you see a bunch of girls, right?
I
It's not
don't
my
know.
feed.
I
Why
don't
is
go
that my
on
feed?
there. If you look on, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Luna. How do you spell Do Kwon? Oh, Tara. I know I'll do Carolina. That might help. Carolina. Charlie told me while we were out and about, that they,
Charlie is saying in the chat, SEC case was thrown out against
thank you.
LUNC.
Yep.
That ticker.
Here it is.
Because I don't know which Luna's
US
Luna anymore.
court. And I keep seeing all these circle ads on TV, which talking about sending money, and I'm like, that all infringes. Also, there was a guidelines for an ETF in Japan were put on some thing, and I'm like, well, Reggie has patents in Japan.
It's got a couple.
Yeah, so all of that kind of stuff, like all this could go very quickly. U.S. court rules in favor of SEC against Oquan, and Terraform Labs. In favor of SEC. But then I heard that it got thrown out. So that doesn't make sense.
All I know is my red coin is $311 each right now. According to
I don't know that that's it. Your red coin is how much?
$311 each, according to Coinomi.
Come on.
I know it's kind of crazy, but it's not. I don't know. It's an API glitch or something. You know, connect. I don't know what they're connecting.
How
to.
long has it been like that?
Like for 2 days. 2 days
For
is
2
fluctuated.
days?
Like, yeah, it's just like going up and down. I mean, it's like absolutely unreal numbers. Crazy.
Would it be considered a coin or a token? Coin.
It's a coin. But yeah, when I go to CoinGecko or something, it's like, oh no, it's like 0.0007 or something. 0.000007.
Are you still able to see my screen, you guys? Yeah. Let me see. It's loading. I don't know why it's taking so long.
You broke the internet.
I think Redcoin broke the internet.
Redcoin broke the internet. If y'all want some Redcoin, I'll trade you some for some Litecoin.
Okay, well, it's still, there it goes. Oh, come on, man. Look, it won't show it.
There's too much volume.
Oh, I have to show, maybe I have to show which one I want to show to USD. Or something.
I love this cup.
I hate this app.
That I bought from the lovely Litecoin Lisa on her store.
Thank you.
I bought it on the day that Jimmy Buffett died. It's 5 o'clock.
That is so bizarre too.
I know. I knew I had to get it though, even though Daddy O tried to outbid me.
I know. Thank you for trying, Daddy O. Daddy O, I still have
Thank you
your
for playing.
brass eagle that you wanted. And it would be a bear to ship, but if you bought it, I would just bring it to you at Westwoods.
Yes. You gotta show up.
It won't, this will not work. Is it on, can I pull it on any other?
What are you looking at right now? I can't see.
I'm looking at Coinomi, and it's like
look at CoinGecko.
Okay.
And then it's going to show you the real price. Coinomi is, I don't know what's going on with it. It's like,
oh, so it won't show the same price on CoinGecko?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, so is it really that price then?
No, it's not.
Oh.
There's something with the API or how it's connecting to what exchange. It's probably has no volume or something, but it's weird that it's been like 2 days showing massive prices on Redcoin.
Well, it still shows it's up. 19%.
Yeah, see, that's way low. No, when I look at my Coinomi app, it says that Redcoin is $311 each. Not
okay. It does not say that here.
But again, it goes to, you know, what's the real value of anything? You know, you see it on the screen and you think, oh, this is what it's worth. Hey, Bitcoin's worth $42,000. Is it? When you need to use it? Just saying.
No, I'm not going to look at the screenshot I took because it tells our personal information. My husband.
He's like, not, do it this way.
He's not good at playing along. I'm trying to play along, dear.
There it is. I lost my club soda. I just found it.
I like
once
it.
Was lost, but now I'm found. Mixer.
Go to CoinMarketCap. You think that it's different on CoinMarketCap?
It's probably the same.
Daddy,
go check it out. coinmarketcap.com for all of you out there that, want to see prices in dollars, whatever that means at this point, because crypto is really not meant to be priced in dollars. It's meant to be a tool to be able to transact peer-to-peer value.
Well, damn, look at that.
What is it?
$310.
Sell, Mortimer. Sell. Orange juice
So you know what's
futures.
interesting about this is CoinMarketCap's one of the only ones I could get to take the warning off. Or the DAO could get to take the warning off.
If you want some red coin, join my Patreon. Or just send me an email. Go to clintwestwood.net. Send me an email. I'll get you some red coin.
Holy shit. Well done, Daddy-O. Hats off.
Just don't take that aluminum hat off. Foil. Leave that one on.
What the crap?
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you're welcome. Daddy-O's just like blasting.
Hey,
Yes.
You know what? When you have a win, sometimes you gotta take it.
Makes you feel good.
It does make you feel good. Okay, so let's go to 1 year. Well, dang, that's even harder to see. One
Yeah.
day. Do they have like an hourly chart? No, they don't.
Oh, no.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It is.
RDD, it's a glitch. Not possible. 13
Yeah.
trillion
No way.
MCAP means the whole crypto 1.6.
Right. Market cap is like eclipsed.
Just please fix this.
No,
My
don't
husband's
fix it.
texting me. He's like, beware. Oh, here he says, breaking. Judge dismisses SEC claims that Do Kwon and Terra Labs illegally offered. That's on Reuters. USA Today have incorrectly reported. Reuters, sorry. I always say Reuters.
I know, because you think Road to Ruta.
I do. Road to Ruta.
know.
Always on my mind.
roadtoruta.com.
Yeah, I'll share this with you guys as well. As much fun as that is to watch Redcoin. Let's see. So, breaking, judge dismisses SEC claims that Do Kwon Transform and Terraform's Labs illegally. Oh gosh, my phone's gonna die. Traded security-based swaps. So, does that just throw Reuters and USA Today out for incorrectly reporting the news? Beware. These outlets are uninformed and reporting FUD, unlike Litecoin Lisa and Clint Westwood.
Yes, we just talked the truth here.
The judge did not say they sold unregistered securities. So, why?
I saw earlier that, what's his name from Binance?
CZ.
He can't leave the U.S. Not going to let him leave the U.S. until the trial or whatever they have coming up. And so I think that's part of the whole bigger picture, to where they're hijacking and taking over exchanges. They're trying to gateway everything.
Oh, for sure.
If you want to get into crypto, we've watched this happen. I've watched this happen for a long time, since, holy cow, I mean, even way back in 2014. But watch it in 2017. I've seen crypto ATMs to where you could go up and buy $900 worth of crypto. You don't need your KYC ID and all that stuff. And now that's required. I see all these exchanges basically bending the knee to the governmental authority, to where it's going to be very difficult to get crypto in the future, especially with the ETF once that rolls out. And that may happen January 10th. I don't know. They may put it off. But you see the commercials coming out, you see it rolling out, and you see the meet the new boss, same as the old boss, to where they're going to hijack that crypto, and they're going to convince you to let them hold it, because it's going to be much more seamless. You don't have $50 transactions for Bitcoin. You can send it directly, on their platforms, and, gets here to there, and it's all good. No fees.
I'm going to push back on Daddy-O right now. I think you're completely right, Westwood. Before that happens, before they totally close it off, they're going to leave some open, because they're going to pump it before
Yes.
they dump it, because They want to grab all we can.
They want to have a way for you. You're the exit liquidity. I mean, basically,
Yes.
they want
They want
your
in the
tokens. They want your
80s,
coins.
remember when everything went to $50? That was their way to grab all the hard assets. They're going to pump it because the people that that bought at uh 30 or whatever,
Say you bought Bitcoin at $20,000.
right.
And then now it's $40,000. And let's say they pump to $60,000, here in the next few months. And people are like, holy cow, I tripled my money. And I've been in this situation.
And they're
going to
be like, oh, I finally got my money
Yes,
back.
you're like,
I
got my
it.
money. I
I'm
got
selling
extra
at
money.
the top,
I
whatever.
can go do whatever
Yes.
I want. Boom, sell it. And see, that's the thing, though. You're giving up an asset that they want. Why else would they spend billions of dollars? Why else are they pumping this stuff on MSNBC and all the commercials, using the tequila guy or whatever, the Dos Equis guy? Why are they doing this? Because they want those coins. Well, why do they want these coins?
They're going to pump it one more time.
Yes.
And make you think that this is it, and you better get your USD, you better cash out, you better get rid of that crap because it's at its all-time high.
Yeah.
And they are going to grab it, and you will never be able to touch it again. It will be moved. The only way you will be able to have it again is through fake paper, the way they did gold and silver. It'll be EFT'd.
Okay,
that's what they're doing to Bitcoin right now.
This is a big weird thing. I read. Okay, so by today is the deadline for all the ETFs. The first wave of ETFs, there's like 14 of them, companies, entities, let's call them, that want to get into ETFs. And there is, by today, the end of day today, they have to have all their, amendments, whatever it is. It's got to be finalized today. So the SEC can look it over and, give the green light. 7 of them have already caved to the SEC and said it's going to be a cash-like transaction as opposed to a like-kind transaction. So what that means is 7 of them have already said, okay, if somebody wants to withdraw their Bitcoin, they're allowed to pay you in cash. I don't know what the other 7 are going to do. They got till the end of day today, but they're ushering you into a system to where you deposit your Bitcoin and they're going to give you incentives and make it easy and low transactions or 0 transactions or whatever, and, put your Bitcoin in this ETF. They're going to control it at that point. They have it. And if you want to withdraw it, they're going to give you cash. Just like you go to a silver ETF and say, hey, I want my 10,000 ounces of silver. Oh, we'll pay you in cash value of silver. Wait a minute, $25 an ounce.
You're going to get dirty fiat.
Yeah, you get the fiat that we create, and that's what they're doing, and I mean it's just the same old freaking rigged game, and it's going to be no different than traveling like when I go to Oklahoma to see you, like I'll do in April, for the Team Mighty meetup. Absolutely. But what happens is I go through certain tollways. And I get to travel faster. I get to get there quicker. I get to take the digibug and run it, max speed, 85 miles an hour. But I got to pay this to get through this gateway. I got to pay this to get through this gateway. They're going to allow you to do that, but you got to go through the tollway. Otherwise, you can take the gravel road and get there twice as long. But that, who wants to do that? And so that's what I see them building. They're going to have all the rails in place to where, you can get on and off. And when you get back on the tollway, you got to pay a fee. When you get off the tollway, you know what I mean? It's like they're going to have all that infrastructure built. And if you want to play the game, you want to get there faster, you want everything to work seamlessly, they control it all. And can you get on or off? Some places say, hey, next 40 miles, last gas station, no more fuel, you're stuck, and you can't get off. I mean, you're stuck on their system. I mean, that's what they're doing with the money.
Well, and Charlie says that Japan approved the like kind as well. Mm-hmm. This is a trap.
Absolutely, it's a trap. And they want the crypto. They want the asset for the future because you think about it, if they have control of enough of the asset, and think about it, you're like, well, F it, I'll go peer to peer. I'll use Bitcoin to, I'll just transact locally and do this and that. If the fees are so high to where you can't do that, I mean, where does that leave you? You're like, is this really what I want to be in? Well, if I put it in their system and I deposit it, boy, it's a lot easier, isn't it? It's a lot more seamless. I don't have to pay any fees. I'm going to go buy it at the store anyway, so I'll just
Oh,
put it
wait,
in the
wait, wait.
system.
He said in kind. In kind. He
In kind
corrected
is
himself.
good.
Okay,
In
wait,
kind
wait,
is
wait. He
better
corrected
than
himself.
cash.
In kind.
Cash
So
like.
that means Japan approved the one where it means you would
They have to give you
get
the Bitcoin.
they have to give you the
transfer
Bitcoin
it.
back.
That's good.
Okay, that's good.
That's good.
Not like, sorry, I misunderstood what he was saying.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that's where we're at right now. And I think the SEC has been pushing it because they want cash like, they want to be able to redeem in cash. That's what the SEC wants because they want to maintain the system. They want to maintain the same control levels.
So Japan has their court rooms or court system moves very quickly. I wonder if that's how that happened there faster, because like Phil C was saying, in kind may come later for us here through the ETFs. I wonder if that happened that way there first, because of their court systems moving more quickly. I don't know.
Well, I don't know because
Maybe part of it.
if the exchanges, or I should say the ETF holders, where I was going with this, the ETF holders,
Right.
they've got what is it? It's authorized, not an authorized custodian, but it's like an authorized, man, I can't remember the language. But anyway, there's two of them. There's two people that most of these ETFs are using.
Oh, I'll show you a list. Hold
And
on.
I can't remember what's the name of it? It's
Custodian.
they're using like an intermediary to
ETF custodian.
Yeah, it's a
ETF
broker. It's like a AR or AC or authorized custodian, something like that. There's two of them that everybody's using. One of them,
Coinbase.
shout out to you, Virtue Financial is one of them.
Oh, I never heard that one.
Yeah, that's the one that he always talks about. Vinny Viola, Virtue Financial, the ones that rigged the silver market. It's the same players.
Really?
Yes, it's the same.
The only
thing.
one I know about is I'll have to ask Bix about them because that's information I don't have. One of them is, the majority of them is Coinbase. If you look at this chart, and then the other one, oh, sorry, Phil, see, I have to take your comment, is Gemini is holding for VanEck, and the only one self-custodying is Fidelity. And then I don't know about hash.
But it's not the actual entity that has the ETF. It's actually, there's a middleman, and this is where it gets into the SEC thing.
Yeah.
They don't want people touching the Bitcoin. And the middleman is like two players. And one of them is Virtue Financial. And that's one that Bix has always talked about, the silver riggers. Let's see if I've got it.
Oh, I have to ask Bix about that.
Yeah, he needs to get in. He needs to dig into that.
I need to know that.
Yeah.
Was that from his video today?
No, this is my own research.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Westwood. Lord, you're so smart. Your brain is so big.
Better be lucky than good.
Virtue Financial.
Yeah, VIRTU. I don't know where I read it. I read it today, and I should have made notes.
Oh, man. Send a link to me and Bix.
I know. I should have just right away blasted it. I didn't.
Dang.
But yeah, that's and that's the
a
bigger
new
picture
notebook.
is the bigger picture is this. It's that you've got the same players doing the same thing over and over again with a new asset. And most people, unlike us, most people, watching right now are going to look at it and say, well, why would I want to hold it? Why wouldn't I let my local bank hold it? Because that's going to be the new exchange in my mind. Those are going to be the people that, the new custodians, the banking system, whatever banks are left that are authorized. Those are the ones that are going to be your crypto holders, just like they hold your cash or whatever, your money right now. They'll hold it and they're going to be under all these regulations and they're going to gateway the whole thing and good luck getting it out. Why would you want to take it out? You can spend it anywhere you want. It's just like, why do you need the cash? We'll give you a cashier's check. That's all fine.
Yeah. And then if you want cash, they want to ask you why you want it. But if I ask for a cashier's check, do you ask me why? And do you fill out a little form to the IRS to telling me about it if I write a cashier's check? No. Because you can track it. They're
Am I going to
just
take a cashier's check for the Digibug? No.
no,
Am I going to take a person check? No.
no.
Will I take silver? I'd rather take Litecoin because
Most
I know that the network confirms it because it's like boom done. I have to test it. Somebody, there's fake coins out there.
I know.
St. Jerome at the coin shows, a dealer had a coin that was a silver coin and he tested it with his little finger and it's like, yeah, it's fake because people were saying, I'm not sure if that's real. And most people, it's like,
Well,
how do
there's
you
even
know what's
different like
real silver and what's
qualities
real
of
gold
coins.
if you
Yeah,
don't have
there's
a way to test it? You
well,
don't
and
have to
as we
test it
go
with
into
blockchain.
this, like we had a friend ask us today about like, is it smarter to take like if you have silver eagles and they have a premium, is it smarter to just sell that and buy just ounces of silver and just have volume of ounces of silver? I don't know.
It depends on what your situation is. I mean, it
Yeah.
depends if you're very wealthy and you're going to use that silver to buy an island, or if you're going to use that silver to buy bread and water and food, eggs and whatever from a farmer. That's really what it comes down to. And so you got to look at what your lifestyle is and what your purchasing methods are to determine what makes sense to you. Because I mean, if you take a 32 ounce a kilo bar of silver and try and buy things that you need for the week, are you going to be able to get change for it? And what are you going to get change in? It might be easier to have a few silver coins and say, hey, I need this. If it gets to that point, if we get to that point. But I'd rather have it
Yeah.
denominated in smaller increments because it's much easier to spend. It's, and it's there's less risk. I mean, the bars, it's like, we've seen the gold bars that, they've talked about. It's that tungsten inside plated with gold. You got to drill through it. No, because the weight's about the same. I mean, everything's a scam, so
Everything's a scam.
you gotta go with what resonates with you, that is real and that that you have in your possession and that works and that's legit. And I mean,
There's this guy in Chicago. Next time I come to see you, which I know you're not in Chicago, but
no,
I don't know how far it is from you.
a couple hours.
He's outside of Chicago and he's Polish.
I get the sense that he's probably north of Chicago outside because he's
Oh,
got
do
a
you
little bit
think
of
he is?
Wisconsin. He's got a little Wisconsin,
Did you watch his
accent. I did. I
when I
watched some
sent
of
him
it.
to you?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a Wisconsin accent.
A
He's
little
from
bit.
Poland.
He's got a little bit of that though. I detect.
He has a Polish accent. He's an immigrant,
All right.
a legal immigrant.
All right. He could be anywhere in the outskirts of Chicago, which is a big thing.
Okay,
big
could
area.
be anywhere.
Could
Well,
be
I was hoping
Wisconsin,
he was
could
on
be
the
so.
south side. But anyway, I really like him. He's really smart, and he has like a buy sell trade pawn kind of place, but he also sells online, and I really like his show. Anyway, and his name's Pete, and Craigslist Hunter. If you guys are watching Craigslist Hunter, or go watch his show, he's really funny. He's really great, and he was talking about. Oh, he had this guy come in who was trying to sell him a necklace, which may or may not have been 18 karat or 22 karat gold. I can't remember. And he was like, well, okay. So he's very respectful of people, even scammers or supposed alleged scammers. And he was like, well, I'm going to have to test it. Are you okay with that? And the guy was like, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, I'm going to have to scuff it. I'm going to have to scuff it pretty deep to be able. And I'm thinking about that, like, okay, well, if we get into a world where we're testing each other's gold and silver, like you're damaging each other's coins,
right,
to test them. Like, how hard is that to live in that kind of world? Like,
it's a very hard world to live in. I mean, you see the old movies where they bite down on the coin. And see, this is why the U.S. Mint was invented, because money was what came out of the earth. It was the gold and the silver. And the mint, if you took a hunk of gold to the mint, they would take it and they'd coin it up for you. And I mean, and that's what the mint's there for, to validate it. They put the stamp on it, and when it comes out of the mint, okay, this is legit. They've tested it. They've done all the research. You're paying for it. I mean, it's your government mint, and it's supposed to be respectable. And now we're in a day to where everything's counterfeit, everything's fake. I mean, the money's fake. The money that you hold in your pocket's fake. It does not say anything that it's backed by anything. It's all just a belief that it has purchasing power, has less and less every day. It's worth less every day, worth less. And so that's the way it used to be, though. And that's why you had mints to verify things, because you get a trusted authority. And this is where cryptocurrency, in my mind, because I'm a big silver guy, comes out of the ground, feet on the dirt, things grow, you put a seed in, those are legit. I can see that. But cryptocurrency, it's like I said, on a Sunday, if I sell my car, am I going to take a 10-ounce silver bar for it? I probably won't, just because I don't know if it's legit or
I
not.
know.
How can I
Well,
test it? How do I know that this is
so like
legit?
I was trying to
But I'll take Litecoin because I
Google.
know the network confirms it, because it's been running for 12 years, and I know that it shows up my wallet. It's Litecoin. I can do what I want with it. And so that's, it solves all those problems.
No, you're right.
But if it all breaks and we don't have a digital world, I mean, then we're back to,
Then we are
okay,
leaning on these kind
can
of
I
things.
trust you? Do I know that that's legit silver? And then you got to go back to that world. I don't want to have to go back to that world. But I mean, if they force us to go back to that world, that's the kind of issue you got to deal with.
But those are education pieces too. Like found this at an estate sale. It's a little oil derrick thing. And so these were both created in gold, and it's pretty heavy. But so these go for like, I don't know, a couple $100. They also go for like $30 or $20 because they're just gold plated. And so how do I know? I don't know.
Right. It's
You
got the
know?
same weight. And again, like those
So
gold
now
bars,
I'm
if it's got
scared to
tungsten,
sell it. Yeah, because I
yeah, it's
can't
like,
price it
I don't
properly
know.
unless
And
I damage it,
go to a coin show, and there will be someone there that says, I don't know, that might be fake. That coin might be fake.
Yeah,
And you're like, what do you
might
mean an
be,
Indian head coin's fake?
might
How do I
be.
know it's not? How do you test it? And even
Yeah.
expert people who are around it, and that's their game, some people will say it's fake. And so to me, it's like, oh my God, this is crazy. I mean, it really is. Is this hug fake? No, it's not fake. So I like
Right.
real things. I like tangible things. I like things that, I know that are real. And, again, it comes down to, how much risk are you willing to put into this artificial world, and what do you know that's real? I know this cigar is real. I know this alcohol is real. It might be low shelf vodka, but I know what it does, and it has the same effect. So, I'm good with that.
I can trade for it.
Yeah. So it has, I don't know, man. We're moving into a real situation, or a world where,
Trust.
yeah, I mean, we've got to be able
People
to
are
trust
not, they're
ourselves
losing
first,
trust. When they're losing trust in the systems around us, they're losing
and
trust in
everything.
the doctors. We just saw Reuters and whatever, the media not being trusted, they're putting out false information. They're losing trust in, the doctors, losing trust in the financial system, losing trust in the court systems, losing trust in, that politician or judge or whatever that decided to make a tyrannical decision and take the people's rights away from deciding who they want to vote for. Their trust is being broken everywhere. There's a breach of trust across the country. And that's what's happening. And
Yep.
that's where like things will start falling apart, and people are going to have to rebuild that trust through systems that we can verify, right?
And the only way to do that is to, it goes back to the old handshake and looking in the eye. I mean, if you're around those people, and, they've built a reputation of, hey, this person's never screwed me over. This is the person I want to go through, and I mean, we've got to build those relationships at a
We
grassroots
start
level,
losing.
or we're
Yeah.
just, in the metaverse. We're in the Borg, oh, it's fine. The bank's going to take care of
We're
everything.
losing
Oh, the government's going to fix it.
connection because of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to talk about losing trust.
No.
But I think we all know. Hey, are we having a hangout tonight
Are we? I'll make you a co-host.
on Twitter Spaces, Westwood Twitter Spaces?
Okay.
I can't sleep, so I'm up for it.
Lord.
I think there's a full moon tonight.
Well, it was full.
Lord,
I think
why not?
We might be waning a little bit.
Was
but
it
yeah,
full last night?
the full moon was like a couple
Does that
days
mean
after
we'll get to
Christmas, I
sleep?
think.
Oh, I would love to be able to sleep.
Keep up on the chat.
don't know.
Yeah, it's trust. What is trust?
What is trust? I've learned my lesson to not trust
Get
so
yourself
much.
in a trust. Disconnect from the foreign government in which we find ourselves. Speaking of which, got a note as of January 1st in Illinois, as some people say it who don't live here,
Illinois.
Illinois, $14 an hour minimum wage in Illinois, January 1st. Has that fixed anybody's problems?
Nope.
Nope.
It just makes it harder on small businesses.
Yep, absolutely. And then I see,
Just hurts mom and
I-
pop.
I saw the whole Gavin Newsom thing. Now, was he married to the little Trump's girlfriend? What's her name?
Yes, he was.
So he
Well,
was.
I don't know that he was married to Kimberly Guilfoyle. I know
Yeah,
he
Guilfoyle.
dated her. I don't know that he was married to her.
Yeah, I don't know either. I
dated.
saw that and I wasn't sure, so
Yeah.
I take it for grain of salt.
Yeah.
But I see in California this year or next year they're going to have $20 an hour minimum wage for fast food workers. And I saw the whole press conference. I rewatched it when he passed it and signed it and gave all his whatever, him and Pelosi. The fast food worker representative, whoever she was, just this makes up for all the abuses of the past, and this helps to bring us up, and I mean, makes reparations on all the it's just it was just absolutely incredible watching it, and I don't know.
Everyone says they were married. Yes.
Oh, were they? Okay. And now she's dating Donald Trump's son. It's the whole thing's weird. It's just like what is it? What was his daughter's name? Who's Trump's daughter?
Ivanka.
Or
Tiffany.
Ivanka.
Ivanka is the daughter.
Is the daughter.
Ivana
Ivana's
is
the one that passed away.
wife.
Okay. Yeah, the first wife. She was good friends with Chelsea Clinton. And then it all kind of went away. So, I mean, there's so many things that make me just, what is happening here?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. You got to trust yourselves on all this stuff. There's so much distraction. There's so many things out there that, again, nobody's coming to save you except you. Is what it comes down to.
Yep. Be ready.
Trust you and where you come from. And that's what you really got to focus on.
And focus on the things that are important to you, which is like for Westwood, his whiskey, his beer, or not your beer, your dogs, your whiskey.
Dogs, whiskey, cigars, and the people that, I have close and inside the onion circle. Yes. I mean, those are important things. You gotta find those things, cultivate those. And that's what really matters at the end of days.
I agree completely. All right. Well, we'll see you guys tonight on Spaces, or hear you guys tonight on Spaces. Love to you all. Thank you guys all for this year. Thank you for 2023. Thank you to everybody that's in the chat not religiously. God, after this year, I don't want to use that word at all.
I know.
But thank you for loyally joining,
giving your energy,
sharing your exchange of energy with us. Yes, it means a lot. And thank you to all my Patreon members that support me and send me messages. It means the world to me to get a message from you. And I just really appreciate you guys. There was somebody saying that Snippy was sending out a message that there might be another purge. If there is, I do have an account on Rumble, but I can't stream to it just yet. For some reason, I'll try to get it fixed, but I can stream to Odyssey.
If that does happen, you go to lightquinlisa.net,
yes,
or you go to clintwestwood.net, and then we'll figure out a way.
We'll have a post up there,
we'll figure out a way to get the message out.
Yeah, and we'll have a way. And there's always the free Telegram link in the description as well. So lots of good information there. You guys are wonderful. I hope everybody has a peaceful and happy New Year's Eve. Make sure you have plenty of water. You can always shine a light over your water to kill viruses. UV light. You can get a little warm.
UV lights. Yep.
Amazon, shine a light over. You mean
Yep.
shine a light over it to
Yep.
kill the virus?
That's all you got to do.
Don't drink bleach, but shine a light over it.
That's all you got to do.
So anyway.
Yep. New Year's Day, Roll Tide. They're playing the Wolverines. I got to say that. My daughter's going to Alabama.
Roll the red tide.
Roll Tide. Red Tide.
Red
Crimson Tide. Roll Tide.
Crimson tide. See you then.